Country Hits 105.9 WPSP, streaming worldwide at Spreaker Podcast. When you want country music, there's only one station to go to that plays it all 24/7 guaranteed. This is the all-new Country Hits 105.9 WPSP.
Driving down the interstate, running 30 minutes late, singing Margaritaville and minding my own. Some foreign car driving dude with a road rage attitude pulled up beside me talking on his cell phone. He started yelling at me like I did something wrong. He flipped me the bird and then he was gone. Some beach somewhere, there's a big umbrella casting shade over an empty chair. Palm trees are growing and warm breezes blowing. I picture myself right there on some beach somewhere. I circled the parking lot trying to find a spot just big enough I could park my old truck. A man with a big cigar was getting into his car. I stopped and I waited for him to back up. When from out of nowhere a Mercedes-Benz came cruising up and whipped right in. Some beach somewhere, there's nowhere to go and you got all day to get there. There's cold margaritas and hot senoritas smiling with long dark hair on some beach somewhere. I sat in that waiting room, it seemed like all afternoon. The nurse finally said, "Doc's ready for you. You're not gonna feel a thing. We'll give you some Novocaine. That tooth will be fine in a minute or two." Then he stuck that needle down deep in my gum and he started drilling before I was numb. Some beach somewhere, there's a beautiful sunset burning up the atmosphere. There's music and dancing and lovers romancing the salty evening air on some beach somewhere. On some beach somewhere.
Just after 7 o'clock on the East Coast, just after 6 o'clock on the Central U.S., and just after 4 o'clock on the West Coast. Jeff Hodge, Country Hits 105.9 WPSP. It's a Friday night once again. The weekend is officially here and coming up less than 10 minutes. Got John Michael Montgomery on the way for you. Also George Strait. Right now, one of my favorite absolute songs from Waylon Jennings. Here's You Asked Me To with WPSP.
Long ago and far away, in my old common labor shoes, I turned the world all which way, just because you asked me to. Like unto no other feel, simple love is simple truth. There's no end to what I do, just because you ask me to. Let the world call me a fool, but if things are right with me and you, that's all that matters, and I'll do anything you ask me to. much I love you. And after all that I've been through, I'd turn and walk away from you just because you ask me to. Lord, I hope you never do. Let the world call me a fool, but things are right with me and you. That's all that matters, and I'll do anything you ask me to.
Haven't heard an old song in a while? There's a high chance you might hear it here. This is the all-new Country Hits 105.9 WPSP.
When I was 14, I was falling fast for a blue-eyed girl in my homeroom class. Trying to find the courage to ask her out was like trying to get oil from a water spout. What you would have said, I can't say. I never did ask, then she moved away. But I learned something from my blue-eyed girl. Sink or swim, you gotta give it a whirl. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Talk, and you might have to crawl even after you walk. Had your things blow up in my face, sing the long shot, win the race. Been knocked down by the slamming door, picked myself up and came back for more. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go.
John and Michael Montgomery, Life's a Dance, Country Hits 105.9 WPSP. And tonight, the Baltimore Orioles face off against the Los Angeles Angels. And game starts at 10 o'clock here on the East Coast, 9 o'clock Central Time, and 7 o'clock out west. And I will give you score updates throughout the night here on Country Hits 105.9 WPSP. Right now, it's George Strait. Great song. Here's She'll Let Herself Go with WPSP.
He wondered how she'd take it when he said goodbye. Thought she might do some crying, lose some sleep at night. but he had no idea when he hit the road that without him in her life, she'd let herself go. Let herself go on a singles cruise to Vegas once, then to Honolulu. Let herself go to New York City. A week at the spa, came back knocked out pretty. When he said he didn't love her no more, she let herself go. She poured her heart and soul into their 3-bedroom ranch. Spent her days raising babies, ironing his pants. Came home one day from the grocery store and found his note. And without him there to stop her, she let herself go. Let herself go on her first blind date. Had the time of her life with some friends at the lake. Let herself go buy a brand new car. Drove down to the beach he always said was too far. Sand sure felt good between her toes. She let herself go on a singles cruise to Vegas once, then to Honolulu. Let herself go to New York City. A week at the spa, came back knocked out pretty. When he said he didn't love her no more, she let herself go. To Vegas once, Honolulu, New York City. Came back knocked out pretty.
We're putting the old back in the country. This is the all-new Country Hits 105.9 WPSP.
A story about a pal of mine who worked down near the Georgia line as DJ in a little country station. Everybody loved him dear, 'cause he played what they liked to hear. He built himself up quite a reputation. At record hops he stayed out late, and his mom would always wait to see if he had made it home alive. She warned against his loss of sleep and driving fast in that old heat, and that he had to be at work by 5. BJ the DJ, you're living much too fast, and if you don't change your ways, don't see how you can last. Every morning just past 4, from the driveway he would roar, overslept and he was late again. Then at breakneck speed he'd drive to sign the station on at 5. He had lots of records he must spin. His mom sat by the radio until his voice told her hello. She knew then that he'd made it there all right. Then she'd say a little prayer, he'd be safe while he was there, and she'd wait up for him again tonight. Then one cold and rainy morn, all 4 tires were badly worn, but still he scratched off just as fast this time. BJ had a lot of nerve, but he completely missed the curve, and he signed off down near the Georgia line. Mom sat by the radio, the voice she heard she didn't know. BJ'd never been this late before. But with the road so bad and all, she'd wait a while before she called, and then she heard the knock upon the door. BJ, the DJ, only 24, a wreck at 90 miles an hour, he'll spin the hits no more.
We're heading back in time with Country Hits 105.9 WPSP.
I met a guy on a red eye. He spotted my guitar and said, "What do you do?" I said, "I sing for a living, country music mixed with a little rock and a little blues." He said, "I'm sorry, but I've never been crazy about that twang and trains and hillbilly thing. Whatever made you want to sing stuff like that?" I just looked at him and laughed and said, "'Cause there's songs about me and who I am, songs about loving and living and good-hearted women, family and God. Yeah, they're all just songs about me, songs about me." So I offered him tickets. I said, "You'll see what I mean if you show up tonight." He said, "I doubt you'll change my opinion. I'll be kind of busy, but hey man, I'll try." Then later on when we finished our songs about scars and cars and broken hearts, I saw him. He was standing there right next to the stage and he shouted, "Man, you were right, it was like you sang those songs about me and who I am, songs about loving and living and good-hearted women, family and God. Yeah, they're all just songs about me, songs about me." Yeah. Just keep on singing till I hear the whole world singing. Those are songs about me and who I am, songs about loving and living and good-hearted women, family and God. Yeah, they're all just songs about me, songs about me.
Country Hits 105.9 WPSP.
I wanted more from life than 4 kids and a wife and a job in a dark Kentucky mine. A 20-acre farm, a shacky house and barn, that's all I had, all I left behind. But at gambling I was lucky, and so I left Kentucky and left behind my woman and my kids. Into the gay casino in Nevada's town of Reno, this Kentucky gambler planned to get rich quick. Kentucky gambler, who's gonna love your woman in Kentucky, and who's gonna be the one to give her everything she needs? Kentucky gambler, who's gonna raise your children in Kentucky,
Yeah, and who's gonna keep them fed, keep them shoes on their feet? There at the gambler's paradise, Lady Luck was on my side, and this Kentucky gambler played just right. Hey, I wanted everything I played. I really thought I had it made, but I should have quit and gone on home that night. But when you love the greenback dollar, sorrow's always bound to follow, and Reno's dreams fade into neon amber. Lady Luck, she'll lead you on. She'll stay a while and then she's gone. You better go on home, Kentucky gambler. But a gambler never seems to stop till he loses all he's got. With a money-hungry fever, I played on. I played till I'd lost all I'd won, and I was right back where I started from. Then I started wanting to go home. Kentucky gambler, there ain't nobody waiting in Kentucky. When you ran out, somebody else walked in. Kentucky gambler, looks like you ain't really very lucky. Seems to me a gambler loses much more than he wins. Much more than he wins.
Country Hits 105.9 WPSP Friday nights, and one of my favorite absolute versions of this song. There really is no bad version to this great, great song. Kalijah, You Poor Old Wooden Head, Hank Williams Jr. this time around, paying tribute to his dad. Country Hits 105.9 WPSP Friday night. Thanks for the company.
Elijah was a wooden Indian standing over by the door. Fell in love with a Choctaw maid over in a Georgia store. Elijah, ooh, standing there, don't never let it show. She don't ever answer yes or no. Fellas and carried this old Black Hawk. The maiden wore her beads and braids and hoped someday he'd talk. Elijah, ooh, standing there, don't never show a sign. 'Cause his heart is made of knotty pine. Oh, Elijah, you ain't never got a kiss. Is it any wonder that your face is red? Girl, I just poor old wooden head. A lonely Indian, never went nowhere. Heart was set on Choctaw maiden with long black hair. Elijah, ooh, standing there, don't never show a sign. 'Cause his heart is made of knotty pine. Customer bought the Indian maid. took her so far away in Okalija State. Elijah, standing there lonesome as can be. Now just wishing he was still an old pine tree. Oh, Elijah, you just ain't never had no kissing. Oh, Elijah, horse, you don't know what you're missing. Is it any wonder that your face is red? Elijah, you poor old wooden head. Just a head. Just a head.
You're listening to 105.9 WPSP.
Every morning at the mine you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip. And everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John. Nobody seemed to know where John called home. He just drifted into town and stayed all alone. He didn't say much, he kind of quiet and shy. And if you spoke at all, you just said hi to Big John. Somebody said he came from New Orleans, where he got in a fight over a Cajun queen, and a crashing blow from a huge right hand sent a Louisiana fella to the promised land. Big John. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John. Then came the day at the bottom of the mine when a timber cracked and men started crying. Miners were praying and hearts beat fast, and everybody thought that they'd breathed their last except John. Through the dust and the smoke of this man-made hell walked a giant of a man that the miners knew well, grabbed a sagging timber and gave out with a groan, and like a giant oak tree just stood there alone. Big John. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John. And with all of his strength he gave a mighty shove. Then a miner yelled out, "There's a light up above," and 20 men scrambled from a would-be grave. And now there's only one left down there to save Big John. With jacks and timbers they started back down. Then came that rumble way down in the ground, and the smoke and gas belched out of that mine. Everybody knew it was the end of the line for Big John. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John. Now they never reopened that worthless pit. They just placed a marble stand in front of it. These few words are written on that stand. At the bottom of this mine lies a big, big man. Big John. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John.
Country Hits 25.9 WPSP, Jimmy Dean, Big Bad John, Jeff Hodge. Just about to go on part 2 tonight. We've got Conway Twitty, Tim McGraw, and Chuck Wicks coming up in a matter of moments on part 2 tonight on WPSP.